Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. So this will be part 2 of this Mars sextile Jupiter May 8th, 2020 horoscope. There was an issue with the audio earlier, so thanks for letting me know. You know who you are. This is going to be a redo of this video. So, taking a look at this, we have Mars making a semi-sextile over to Jupiter. And Jupiter is here in Capricorn, where this is a faith test of whether we will hold the faith to keep going towards our goals, towards our accomplishments, our achievements here with Mars in Aquarius. And so, with Jupiter here in this conjunction over to Pluto retrograde, this is a major internal shift of facing your fears, facing these blocks, these limitations of these deep emotional attachments of what we believe is the story. But remember that with Mars here in Aquarius, that this is about the plan of action, of what are we going to do. This is the time to plan towards your goals. This is the time to act now in this moment, as Mars is getting ready here to enter into Pisces, where this will to act becomes very difficult as Mars comes into this daydreamy, imaginative world of Pisces. And so with Mars here in Aquarius, this is the last push to make these goals and these dreams a reality before Mars starts to come into some very turbulent territory, especially as Mars will be entering into its home sign of Aries in a retrograde in September. So we're going to see Mars in shadow for a long time after Mars comes out of Pisces. And so with Mars sitting here at 27 degrees of Aquarius, this is a big moment of acting now before things start to become more turbulent, especially as we are starting to come into this retrograde season that is coming up here, as well as this eclipse season that we're building up to in the summer. So there is a lot going on here in terms of, will you act on what you really want? And even with the North Node in Gemini in this conjunction with Venus, this is a major question of what is your choice of where you are going. We have this point of karmic destiny that is in Gemini that is all about what is logical, what are the facts, what is true connection, communication. And it's in here with Venus where this is all about creating your ideas, making this a reality, instead of staying back here in this South Node in Sagittarius of this story and this belief that it will happen, even though that is just a story. How can we take this story, this dream, this vision, and actually make it happen in reality? And this is a big opportunity to use this Venus in Gemini, as Venus is stopped here, getting ready to retrograde on the 13th. And so this is a major moment of using this Venus in Gemini energy before Venus starts to come into this retrograde, where we will be facing these lessons with relationships. And so as we start to go into this review period, a lot will come up about relationships, especially with Juno in Libra making an opposition over to Chiron and Aries, that we are dealing with these wounds and fears and insecurities of the self. And so what is this image that we are trying to hold on to? This appearance of what we believe it should look like that is stopping us from this true connection from moving into this space of connection and relationships and the true facts and information of what logically makes sense in our reality. And so, especially here with this moon in Sagittarius, are we going to stay back in this place of hoping and wishing and dreaming and believing instead of actually making our goals become a reality through these logical steps, especially as Mercury is sitting in Taurus with the Sun, where this is all about what are the logical steps that we need to get to what is of the highest value to us in our lives. And remember that we have Uranus here, which is in Taurus as well. It is breaking down this old structure, this old foundation, these old values that no longer serve us, opening up the doorway to new values, to new security, to a new foundation that better serves us. And so, are we fighting against this change, trying to hold on to an old sense of security and values in our life that are no longer serving us, no longer fulfilling us, as this Uranus and Taurus is trying to skyrocket us into a new form of values and security in our lives? And so this is a big question of if we are holding back by trying to stay in the past, and major lessons of control with this Pluto in Capricorn retrograde, where this lower octave of Pluto is control and power in trying to hold on and possess and obsess over and stay stuck in what it believes is the true power, which is actually just holding on to the fears of the past in the way that it was. But this higher octave of Pluto is through transformation that we are stepping into our light and our true power. And so, coming off of this full moon in Scorpio, are we actually going to go through and commit to this change where we are facing ourselves internally, facing the darkness, facing the fears, facing the blocks, facing the pain, facing the past attachments, so that we can let go and move forward into our true power? As this is this higher octave of Scorpio that is the phoenix rising from the ashes. But are you willing to rise from these ashes and step into your true light? This is a major question here, especially with the North Node in Gemini. The Gemini is dealing with duality, so this is a major choice of where you are going. And Gemini does not like choices, as Gemini is trying to do what is logical and what makes sense. Remember that Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and so are we going to stay in this place of duality where we're not going to make a choice, we're just going to go back and forth? Or are we going to make a choice? And there's something big about this where we are seeing that there is only one choice that will come from this. So we are splitting the path, the destiny, as any energy that we put into Gemini is going to split. And so, which direction are you going in? There is no back at this point, as this North Node in Gemini is taking us forward into this new experience, into this new lesson, this new opportunity. Remember that the North Node is exalted in Gemini, and so this is a very powerful, very extreme position of the North Node, where this is all about new lessons, new opportunities within our environment, right? So this is not a moment of trying to escape in this South Node of Sagittarius, where we're trying to run away and trying to seek out something outside of ourselves. But remember that Gemini is dealing with our environment and short distance travel and these close connections with others. So this is a major time of not running away and escaping our destiny, but moving towards true connection and truly connecting within our environment and moving towards the facts and the information that is logical and true in this reality. And so instead of moving towards this South Node in Sagittarius where we are hoping and wishing and dreaming, we need to move towards the facts and the details and the steps of how we are going to get to what we are seeking. And this Venus in a conjunction with the North Node is a big moment of an opportunity for us to move towards what we truly love, what we are truly passionate about, what truly makes us happy, as this Venus in Gemini is opening us up to this fun and this humor and these new experiences. Remember that Gemini is that third house energy of the teenager, of going out and having fun and having these new opportunities and experiences. And so with Venus here, are you going to be open to new lessons and new experiences in this conjunction of the North Node, or are we going to stay back in these old cycles of holding on to, especially coming off of that full moon in Scorpio, holding on to these attachments from the past? And there's a lot going on here in terms of the story that we are trying to make ourselves believe with the South Node in Sagittarius, this moon in Sagittarius, and Neptune in Pisces, that we're trying to tell ourselves this story, this fantasy that is not the ultimate truth, that is not the path that we are being called to move towards. And with this Saturn in Aquarius, which is getting ready to retrograde, we're going to see this on the 11th, where this is the sneak peek of the new reality. But as Saturn retrogrades, we are going through this major test of whether we are going to accept this new reality or whether we are going to try to go back into the past. And with this Pluto retrograde in a conjunction to Jupiter here in Capricorn, this is the major crumbling and falling apart of this old foundation, this old reality that we once knew. And so as we're going through this retrograde period, there's a big lesson here of whether you're going to try to attach yourself to this reality that is falling apart, or whether you're really ready to step into this new reality. With Saturn and Capricorn, this is taking us back into the old structure, the old system, the old form of control. And so are we going to step back into that? Or are we going to realize this new truth, this new reality of Saturn and Aquarius that is about us coming together as a collective and supporting one another in humanity, in the future, in moving forward? And so there's a big lesson here of whether we are going to support one another in humanity, as Saturn is here in Aquarius, giving us this duty and this responsibility to helping one another, as well as this Mars in Aquarius that is focused on the future and on our goals and how we can better one another in this space of unity, before Mars goes through this weekend journey going through Pisces and stationing retrograde in Aries. So a lot that is going on here. This is a major moment, though, with Mars in this semi-sextile over to Jupiter, that is about, do you have the faith to keep going towards your goals? Or are you going to stop? This is a major moment where the universe is telling you not to stop, because remember that Jupiter in Capricorn is at its fall position, at its weakened and debilitated position, where Jupiter is this big planet of hope and optimism and faith and belief, where it is stuck in Capricorn, where it has to deal with the reality and the hardships of life. And so, are we going to hold the faith and the optimism and the belief that we can get through these struggles and hard times of reality here in Capricorn to achieve our goals? Or are we going to give up and stop here? Especially as we are in this world of change with Uranus in Taurus breaking down our security, our foundation, and this Pluto retrograde in Capricorn that is breaking down our reality. And so with this, we are not standing on solid ground. We are going through these shifts and changes that are elevating us and taking us to a new, higher level in our lives. But will we accept this or not? I also pulled some cards for May 8th as well for this Mars semi-sextile in Jupiter. And the first card here that we get is Chiron. This is a major moment of healing. And remember that Chiron is in Aries, where this is about healing ourselves and removing these ego attachments and wounds of identity of who we think we are and who we believe that we should be, and instead stepping into who we truly are, into what is truly fulfilling. And so, are we doing what we love? Are we truly expressing ourselves? Are we truly doing what makes us happy? Or are we doing what we believe we should be doing? Very powerful here. We have the Magician and the Moon, where this is about you realizing the power and the ability that you have to change your reality, that you have to create the reality that you want in this moment. Remember that with this Jupiter in Capricorn, in a semi-sextile over to Mars in Aquarius, that we have the ability to create the future that we want. We have the ability to go after the goals that we want. But with Jupiter in Capricorn, it's an issue of faith, of whether we have the faith and the belief to go towards these goals, or if we are just going to hold back from what we really want in this moment. And with the Moon card here, once again with this Moon in Sagittarius, this South Node in Sagittarius, and this Neptune in Pisces, we are trying to tell ourselves these stories and these illusions that are not true, and trying to hold on to these old feelings with this Pluto retrograde. And so this is a major moment where we need to release these old holding patterns and these blocks and these illusions and stories that we're telling ourselves that are not true, that are actually holding us back from where we really want to be in our lives. Next card we have here is the Three of Swords in reverse. This is a major time of needing to release our own struggles, our own difficulties, our own pain, our own past. Right? What are these blocks? What are these fears? What is this pain that needs healing? Remember that first card we started with was Chiron, that this is a major time of healing. And our confirmation card for this Three of Swords in reverse is the South Node. So what we need to let go of is the past, is these old cycles that we continue to repeat over and over again on repeat. And so looking at our lives, what are these cycles that we are continuing to go over that are actually just connected to our fears and our blocks and our pain, that's actually just this attachment that we're trying to keep and hold on to in our lives. It's a major time of letting go. 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 It's a maj And that was your horoscope for May 8th, 2020, this Mars semi-sextile Jupiter. I hope you all enjoyed. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like as well as a comment. If you are new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so that you don't miss out on any new content. If you'd like to share some spiritual wisdom, motivational advice, positivity, feel free to join the group on Facebook, Astro, Metaphysical, Love, and Light. And I want to thank you all once again so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.